All right, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's the kid, it's the kid, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's the kid. Guys, we're riding in here, man. So this is, I hope it's going to be a slightly longer breakdown of what's been happening, man. I've got the notes here, man. I've got the notes here. You can see here, there are agendas and things that I need to talk about. So we're riding in here, man.
I've got the notes here.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, let's put that on. So, things to talk about. I think you already know what's on the agenda. But before we get there, we've got to bring out the meal. Very important. So, how are we rolling right now in the meal, man? So, what we're doing, because the meal is always key. So, we got sushi. I thought let's stay healthy. Let's stay real. So, we got sushi in the house, man. As you can see, we got your boy sushi in the house. Shout out to my Japanese amigo Yasuhiro, who taught me how to use chopsticks. And of course, the essential, which is what we always have, is your boy's super malt. Man, we've got to have the super malt in there. So, and yeah, man, so they've given your boy a bit of wasabi. They've given your boy a bit of soy sauce. So that's how I'm going to be rolling with. So I just thought, you know what, let's just stay healthy because it's going to be, we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in because there are a few things I've got to say. So let me just open this right up. Oh, beautiful! There we go. Look at that. They give you a little package. So you see, that's where the soya sauce goes. That's where the wasabi goes. So let me just put that to the side like so. And yeah, I will talk about the different topics that will be on the agenda today. And this is pretty much a back-to-back and everything. But remember, guys, the super chats is what helps show support for the footballing hot. So as I always say, it's how this thing gets built. This is what I want, because I still have a day job. Lo and behold, I still have a day job. But I want this to be something I can do for you guys every single day. So, wait, how the hell do you open this stuff, man? What the hell? So there's this thing about wearing shades, man. So you can't see anything. Oh, there you go. All right. That's my wasabi. So yeah, so the super chats are just here. It's what will allow me to say, you know what? No more day job for your boy. I can now do this daily and survive doing this on a whole daily thing, man. It's still Ramadan. What the hell? When does Ramadan end, man? I thought Ramadan was over. Okay. So on the agenda, what are we doing on the agenda? So we're gonna talk the Hazard Real Madrid transfer. The latest we've heard from the transfer, as well as what role will he play in the team. We're gonna look at Pulisic at Chelsea. What could he do at Chelsea? Because remember, he'll be playing his final game for Dortmund. I believe he's either today or tomorrow. After 5 is there. We're not talking about Juventus and Jose Mourinho. Apparently, Juventus turning down Jose Mourinho as a replacement at Juve. Griezmann, we're now hearing about how the Antoine Griezmann transfer is not on for him to go to Barcelona, and we're hearing 100 mil. Bro, okay, I'm going to talk about Ander Herrera. Going to talk a bit about Ander Herrera leaving United. Ashley Young and Phil Jones been given new contracts. What does that mean? And also about Ligt and where could he go, and also how United passed on Ligt. So those are really the main topics that we'll be having on the agenda here, as well as any kind of comments or views that you will have. So remember, that's what I'll be talking about. But anything you need being held said, please use the super chat. The super chat is what I will 1000% respond to without fail. I will try and look at what you have in the comments, but there are a lot of comments, so it's going to be hard for me to read your comment. But if you want your comments to be fully read, 1000% without fail, then the best bet, of course, is a super chat. So that's that. Interesting. First things first. Zad. So what we have learned is, because I was watching ESPN FC earlier today, so what we've learned is Real Madrid are holding out for 100 mil for Zad. That is what they're holding out for. Super chats, I can see that. I will, get to that very soon. Don't worry, I can see the super chats. I will get that to very soon. So where we are right now is 100 million is what Real Madrid are. 100 million is what Chelsea are holding out for. Real Madrid feel they're in a stronger position because they say Zad is going to be he's not going to sign an extension contract. That means he's going to be a free in the summer. So Real are saying, homeboy, we're in a stronger position because you don't want to lose such a vital, amazing player for nothing. That is horrible business. But Chelsea are like, you know what? We know how much you want him. We're going to hold out. But for me, I feel that Real Madrid are in a stronger position because yes, Zad is key, but this is Real Madrid. They can pretty much buy whoever the hell they want, and almost anybody will want to go to Real Madrid and play under Zidane. So I said 255. I feel that 255 is the best thing for Zad based on what this, because this guy's giving you G's, he's giving you assists, he's giving you dribbles, giving you skills, he's giving you so much sex that I think 255 is a liable thing. But I don't understand the hard situation Chelsea are in. You understand the 12 transfer ban, but the key thing of Zad not signing, he's not going to sign a contract extension. It's not going to happen. And I remember talking to your boy, talking tactics, dad, and it's here, but and he said, look what, I think what Chelsea could do is take the L, keep Zad for another season, try and get them to really try and do the, help them in a season, because especially with the whole transfer ban, just keep him for one season. And if he goes on a free, take the L because of the whole transfer ban, which I think is a bit risky. So super chat from Nassim Foran. Nassim Foran, thank you very much for the super chat. So Nassim Foran says a front three of the Us, Griezmann, and Messi. You know what? I'm going to get to the Griezmann story, but that is much better than the trash that's Coutinho and the trash that's the Cannibal Suarez, 100%, because those front, basically, Dembele and Griezmann are better than Coutinho and the Cannibal. Nobody tell me otherwise. They are better, 100%. In 2019, as right now, they are better. My worry about that is, because, I was going to say a lack of height. But then, let's roll back to 2011. David Villa, Pedro, Messi. And we all know what those guys did, i.e. they ransacked those dudes United in the final. So if you're going to give me that front three, it's better than the front three have now, 100%, because Coutinho and kind of have been trash. And people overlook that because people look at, it's Valverde's fault. No, it's the freaking fault of having two trash players. It doesn't matter how great a manager you are. If you have two trash players, you have two trash players. So thank you very much for the super chat, Nassim Foran. So going back to this whole Zad thing is it's gonna happen. And I think even the boys at ESPN FC said that this is going to happen. This is going to be an eventuality. And you have to just accept that fact that because the thing about it is that Zad needs to go to Real Madrid. A player that's good, of that kind of quality, he cannot remain at Chelsea. Now, the only way that I think that he should remain at Chelsea is if he's surrounded by top quality talent. Then that is where Chelsea can say, look, man, Zad, look at the players that we have. We can win a Premier League and a Champions League like this. The way Chelsea are currently constructed, and you throw in a transfer ban, there is a 0% chance of Chelsea winning either a Premier League or a Champions League. There's a 0% chance of that happening. So, and I've taken a lot of heat by me saying that Zad is tier 1 and Zad is top 5 players in the world. If you push me top 3. And people have insulted me for it and have discredited my status as an analyst. So I feel for me to be proven right, I want Zad to be surrounded by top tier players, because my belief is that if Zad is surrounded by top tier players, you cannot deny him being one of the best players in the world. It is a lot more difficult him proving that when he's surrounded by trash like Higuain, Pedro, and Willian. It's very difficult. But if he's surrounded by an Isco, an Asensio, maybe an Eriksen, who knows, what about a Kylian Mbappe? That will elevate him, and then he will have no excuses not to the ball. Because let's be real, a guy who has given you the kind of numbers that he's given you this season, I'm sorry, he does have excuses. Don't start saying to Zad, oh my gosh, how come you didn't score? So his role isn't the goal scorer. The role of the goal scorer is for your boy, what's his face, Higuain and Giroud, and of course Marta, who failed. But Real Madrid, so Zad is an important piece to the Real Madrid puzzle of what Zidane is trying to build. Because I think that, Zizou definitely feels that, we can do something next season, because in Barcelona, I will be very surprised if we see Coutinho next season for Barcelona. I'll be very surprised if we see Suarez at Barcelona next season, because that would just be insane. And my thing about it is that there will come a time. There will come a season where Messi can't be doing what Messi does. There has to be. You can't tell me that Messi is going to be pretty much be balling and contributing to this degree without any support from other players. That does not make any sense. There will come a time where I can't do it like this anymore. I need support, and without the desired support, that brings in Real Madrid to now say what they can now do with regards to the La Liga thing. But I think, as I said, for Zad is there to be almost similar to the role that ironically, Zad is almost similar to the role that Zidane played when he was at Real Madrid, where when he was there, like Raul was a striker and so forth, but you were the creative midfield superstar. You were the guy that gave Real the buzz and the kind of juice and creativity that they so badly need. And that is why I feel that he is so important for them, because Isco can do that, but are you going to tell me that Isco at his best is as good as Zad at his best? I don't think so. Isco at his best is a bloody amazing player, but Isco at his best is not sniff. He's sniffing. But Isco at his best is not Zad at his best. And Zad, because if you have a situation where you have both Zad and Isco in your team, that boosts up your creativity. Let me look here at this. So super chats here from Original Base Annie. I believe Isco must not leave if Hazard comes. Also, how do I get my ass onto a hangout? Big up the show, HH. Your Original Base Annie, tweet me. Send a tweet to me and I will get you to join the Twitter group. So the thought was, if Hazard is coming, there's no place for Isco. As in, how do you have two very similar creative players in the same team? But my response to that is, let's look at Barcelona back in the day. You could argue that both Messi and Iniesta were creative players. Let's look at Man City right now. You could argue that in David Silva and even in Bernardo Silva, they're both two creative players. So you can have two creative players if you manage to create and structure the team in the right way. And you could have a situation where Hazard and Isco can complement each other. Because remember, Hazard is much more of an attack-minded creative player. Isco is much more of a restricted midfield-heavy creative player. So, and if you have a situation, let's just say this. Let's say you're playing a 4-3-3. If you're playing a 4-3-3, you have Zad wide left. You have maybe a Vinicius or an Asensio wide right. You have a top striker in the middle. I wouldn't say Benzema, but you have a top striker. Maybe you have a Luka Jovic in a striker position. And in your three, you have your boy Isco. And in that two, you have maybe Dric and the Casemiro. I would say Toni Kroos needs to take a hike. Maybe say it's harsh. I think Toni Kroos needs to take a hike. I think you're... Now imagine this. I don't know, but if Real Madrid can get Kante, if these guys can get Kante, Verratti, Isco, then you roll with the Jovic as a striker, we're talking cash. That's money. That's money. So, but I think this is a big move from Zad, and I think looking at it from ESPN FC, they said that, I mean, him and his wife, I didn't even know the guy had 3 kids. That him and his wife, they've actually gone to Madrid, and they're actually looking for houses already. Personal terms have been agreed. So what I've heard, apparently that personal terms have been agreed, but they just need to finalize the transfer fee, and then they will go through. So to our next topic that we have right here on the, it looks, you know, we're getting organized here, man. So the next one we have here is Pulisic. So Pulisic, now let me just put this straight. Pulisic is not a replacement for Hazard. That's an insult to what Zad does. So because people say, oh no, Pulisic coming in, he will be filling Zad's shoes. That is nonsensical. Now, all because Pulisic is the best American football player of all time doesn't mean that he's anywhere near on the level of Zad. But what Pulisic brings is a new era. I think that, you know, in Pulisic and in Hudson-Odoi, those are two very exciting, very direct-minded wing wide forward players. Pedro is trash. Willian is trash. These two players are crap. They give you one quality game every 20 or 30 games. That's not enough if you're really trying to be serious in the league. So I think what Pulisic represents is a new era for Chelsea under Sarri, where nobody now has really no one has there's no superstar. Because I wouldn't say it's a problem, but if a team isn't very good, it can be an issue where Zad is so good and so much better, people will lean towards him. But with Zad now gone, there is no thing of like, oh my gosh, who do we rely upon? Well, no, we have to rely upon ourselves. So there's much more of a team ethos, and hopefully Pulisic can come in, fill in the role, and fill in that team ethos very well. And I think what he brings in is a vibrancy and electricity and an energy of on the wide. And the key thing is that at least the guy runs straight. Willian and Pedro are allergic to running straight. Seriously, they are. Like, they have this serious allergy, and I don't know what they can take for it. They have an allergy to running straight, which is not what you will get in a Pulisic, who I have seen a lot of. And he is super quality. So, now, Uncle Moo. Let's talk Uncle Moo. Now, I heard this story. And I don't know how true this is. Apparently, Juventus have said that they have denied an approach for Uncle Moo. And they don't see Uncle Moo as a replacement for Allegri. Now, we can all pretty much agree that it is inevitable that Allegri is going to be gone. I don't feel that Allegri... I don't know whether it's Allegri or thinking, but I don't see Juventus winning the Champions League with Allegri as manager. I don't know whether you guys disagree or you guys agree, but I just think that is something that they've realized. That is something that they've seen. And they feel that in order to win a Champions League, they need a different coach. But would Mourinho work at Juventus? That's what you've got to ask yourselves. And my thing is, Mourinho has shown that he can work with scrap heaps and deliver something, as is proven with the situation that United find themselves in right now. But so you look at Juventus, and that's a very solid team. From back to front, that is a very solid team. And I 100% believe that if Mourinho was managing this team in that second leg against Ajax, I feel they would have found a way to figure out how to stay in the game. And I believe even in the first leg in Amsterdam Stadium, as Tottenham shown, he would have found a way to win that game. He would have found a way to win that game comprehensively in Amsterdam. So Mourinho at Juventus, I think, can work. Because if Juventus saying that they don't want to go for Mourinho, who do you then go for? So my inkling is, are you trying to go for a much more attack-minded manager, much more of an attack-minded coach? If you're going for a much attack-minded coach because you felt that the very defensive, conservative approach is what lost you the tie against Ajax, you don't have the squad or the players to play that way. You just don't. And that is very risky. Because 100% Juventus, they made look, this Serie A is a done deal. They are aiming to win it 10 times in a row, which I think they probably will. But the thing about it is, the main goal for Juventus is to win the Champions League. Because as much as Juve can win all this Scudetto and everything, AC Milan are still the bigger club because they've won more European trophies. So it doesn't matter how many domestic trophies you win. It's about winning. The biggest trophy is the Champions League. It is that flipping European Cup. AC Milan have 5 European Cup trophies. Juventus have, I believe, only 2, with countless losses in the finals. So that is definitely a chip on the shoulder of Juve that they haven't been able to get it done in the big one. So let me just take the super chats here. So super chats from Original Base Annie. Thank you, bro, for the super chats, Original Base Annie. Poch needed to be looked at these top tier clubs. Let me speak on that, and maybe I'll speak more on Pochettino afterwards. If you're 100%, if you're a top tier club, you should definitely look at Poch. Again, I don't feel that it's Valverde's fault, but I would understand if Barcelona would be looking at Pochettino and say, "Yo, Poch, come here, man. Let's try and do something." So every top tier club must look at Pochettino because what he's done to be able to spearhead and strategize Tottenham to a Champions League final is absolutely incredible. But if you're Pochettino, you see, if you're Pochettino, it's very simple. And I think I've mentioned this before. It's all about Levy. It's all about that conversation that he has with Levy. If he goes to Levy and he says to Levy that, "Yo, I need 150 million this summer to strengthen. If you don't give me that, I'm leaving. I'm gonna terminate my contract." And that puts the ball in Levy's court because Levy must be very careful because Levy cannot assume that, "Hey man, why is this?" Because Levy cannot ignore what Poch has done. So if Levy says, "Sorry, I can't promise you 100 mil, work with what you have," 1,000%, I feel Pochettino should then leave Tottenham because the angry thing is that I think that Levy actually can play with Poch's emotions because when you just look at how much it's meant to Pochettino, when you just see how much it's meant to Pochettino that Tottenham were able to reach the Champions League final in the way that they did, that gives you a very close affinity and a very close connection to this team. A very close connection to this team. So I just think in that way, in that avenue, it does make it very, very difficult for Pochettino to walk away. Even if Tottenham end up losing the final, which I think they will. So even if they do lose this Champions League final, it would be very hard for Pochettino to walk away because I think of the journey he's taken with this team and just how emotionally draining and just how deep it's been personally for him. It's going to be very hard for him to walk away. But for you, if you're a top tier club, you definitely have to look towards him. Before we get back to the topic, super chats from Southwest Pani. Why are you voluntarily ignoring Uncle Moo to Celtic? All right, let's play this game. So let me keep things a buck. I know you guys may hate the GOAT. You may think he's trash. But so, what has Brendan Rodgers won? What major trophies has Brendan Rodgers won? What major trophies did Martin O'Neill win? These are all Celtic managers. On what universe or planet does a manager who has won multiple league titles, multiple FA Cup titles, multiple cup titles, has won the Champions League with 2 different teams, has won the UEFA Cup? In what planet does a manager with those accolades even touch Celtic? I don't care who wrote the story. I don't care whether the story is true. It cannot be entertaining because, no offense to Celtic, no offense, okay, I appreciate what Celtic have done and I appreciate Celtic and everything, but you cannot honestly tell me that someone of the ilk of Uncle Moo is sniffing Celtic. Sorry, that's gonna happen. So let's get back to even if we're actually still on the topic of Uncle Moo and this whole Juve thing. So, should Uncle Moo go to Juventus? Let's just put that in a bit. Should Uncle Moo go to Juventus? I think you see, for me, I'll get to the club that he should go to, but just speaking with Mourinho and Juventus, Juve, you want to win the Champions League. This is a manager who has won the Champions League. Allegri has never won the Champions League. And I do feel that there is something to be said when someone has experienced something. Which is why if you are going to win, if you're having a team and you're building a new team of young players and you're trying to win a title, it is very important and helpful if you have players in that team who have won a title before, because experience is something. Because there's a certain kind of mentality and approach you should have psychologically when you're in a Champions League semi, when you're a Champions League final, when you're in an FA Cup final, when you're in a key game to win a league. So Mourinho, bringing his experience of understanding how to navigate two-legged affairs, would help Juventus greatly. And you cannot judge Mourinho based on what's happened at United, because we've now seen the situation that Man United are now in, that these guys are just horrible. And player for player, these guys enter it. And remind me again, who was the manager that gave Juventus one of their rare defeats at the Juventus Stadium? I believe that was Mourinho with this same trash United side. So for Juve, it's your call. It's your call. But with regards to where Mourinho should go, I've said this many times. I don't know how Thomas Tuchel still has a job. I mean, real. I don't know how Thomas Tuchel still has a job. Because, let's keep it real, Tuchel is never winning the Champions League with PSG. It's impossible. It's never happening. And it goes back to the point that I made, that it's about experience. It's about experience. And he merely doesn't have the required experience to lead those losers to a Champions League win. But who has the experience? Who is experienced and who has won the Champions League before? Oh. Burn. Woo. Wasabi, man. Wow. Damn. Note to self. Have very small doses of wasabi. Or, whoa, man, that was deep, man. Bloody hell. Damn, my eyes are actually watering now. So, but yeah. PSG is very simple. This team was built to win the Champions League. That's why it was built. And even when Tuchel was hired, and guys, you can check my video. Even when Tuchel was hired, I said, this is the same move and the same strategy as when they hired Emery. Because both Emery and Tuchel are very similar. They're very attacking coaches that wants their teams to be very intense. But being good, entertaining, and offensive doesn't always translate to winning. And the verse said, do you want to look good or do you want to win? Which would you really rather have? Look amazing and lose or look ugly and win? I know what I want. I don't know about you. You know, it would, in an ideal world, you want to look great and win. In a perfect world. But we don't live in a perfect world. And I've already gone on the record and said that PSG are not going to win the Champions League the way things are. Neymar being given so much player power, and managers of the ilk of Tuchel who would very easily get run over by the likes of a Neymar, because what PSG need is a strong manager, somebody with discipline, and somebody who's going to come in and fully direct these guys. Because again, it depends what PSG wants. Because maybe I'm confused. Maybe PSG just care about the brand. We have Neymar, the brand. We have Paris, the brand. We have the whole Jordan thing, the brand. We don't really care about the Champions League. As long as we're making a profit off shed sales from Neymar, we're making profits off the PSG brand as a team with all of these superstar players. If that's what you focus on, then please carry on. But I was confused because I thought that their main goal was not only to win the Champions League, but to be a European force. That's what I thought. I thought that's what they wanted. If Mourinho was to go to PSG, do they win the Champions League? That's interesting. If Mourinho goes to PSG, do they win the Champions League? I think they'd have a great chance. Now, I know what many people will say. People say, if Neymar was fit, they would have won these games and so forth. But let me go one step further. I don't think that Mourinho needs Neymar to win the Champions League. I think in Cavani and in Mbappe, that is all he needs to get the goals. Because do you know what Mourinho does well? Defense. Hold on. See, PSG have shown that they can score. And they have pure goal scorers in Mbappe and Cavani. Di Maria, I don't know. So it's also what PSG need is a strong defense. What made them lose that game against United were defensive mistakes. Sleeping defensively and not being clinical enough. Because in that second leg, if that was Mourinho, he wouldn't go out, especially them winning the first leg 2-0. Mourinho would have made the team more defensively strong, which would have made it pretty much almost impossible for United to even score, and which would have meant that they wouldn't have even been in the situation for that crazy pass back that the PSG defender did, or that crazy mistake that Buffon did. Yes, that was an individual mistake by Buffon. But let me even be realer with you. If Mourinho was the manager, Buffon entered the team. Buffon entered the team because Uncle Mo ain't about that. Uncle Mo is the last man that will be about sentiments. And the key thing is, if it's a battle between Mourinho and Neymar, Mourinho will put his foot in and say, look, it's either I'm the alpha male or you're the alpha male. And if Neymar says, no, I'm the alpha male, Mourinho either walks or he makes it known in public that, hey, we've got an issue here. There is no way in hell Uncle Mo is going to bow down to Neymar and give him what he wants. Impossible. That's not how Uncle Mo is built. So for PSG, it's very simple. What do you want? It's very simple. What do you want? Do you want to win? Or not? Let's go to our next topic. And we'll circle back on the previous ones. Antoine Griezmann. So, can we all agree that we are witnessing the end of Atletico Madrid? It's over. That Atletico Madrid is pretty much done. Can we all agree on that point? Because Godin has announced that he's leaving, and Godin, I believe, is going to be going to Inter Milan, and Godin is a very, very important piece to what made Atletico so great. And I think with that, because remember, if you don't know, Godin is Antoine Griezmann's child's godfather. So they're actually very, very close. And with that, we're now hearing that Griezmann to Barcelona is on. Now, remember back when, and I said that Barcelona do not necessarily need a Griezmann. That said, a Griezmann could work for Barcelona, but I said that, no, Barcelona, they don't need a Griezmann. They are good without him. This was before I saw how useless Coutinho was, and how we now saw that the cannibal is done as a striker. Now, with that being said, not only do I feel that Griezmann should leave Atletico Madrid, because, see, Griezmann, things have now changed. Because remember, Griezmann said that he doesn't want to become Messi's side piece, and he wants a team on his own. But you now have to be realistic right now, because you're getting a lot older, and I think when you get older, you get wiser. You're not winning any major trophies with Atletico. That's not happening. You're not winning a Champions League with Atletico Madrid. That's not happening. Your best chance, you are pretty much almost guaranteed a La Liga trophy, at least one trophy if you're with during the Messi era, which maybe has 3 or 4 more years. Your best chance of winning a Champions League, which is what you've never won yet, because remember, Griezmann could have a rarity. Because if he joins Barcelona, you're pretty much guaranteed a La Liga crown. You'd probably win the Copa del Rey. He's already won the Europa League. He's already won the World Cup. He may win the Euros coming Euro 2020. And I think that if he now adds a Champions League to that, he now enters the kind of... Guys, that's also interesting. Has there been any player who's won the World Cup, the original trophy, the continental trophy, a league title, a cup title, the Champions League, and the UEFA Cup or the Europa League? Has there actually been a player that has won all of those trophies? Because I know that Desailly has almost the full set, but I don't think Desailly has the UEFA Cup. Because I know Desailly has won the Euros, he's won the World Cup, he's won the Champions League, he's won the league titles, he's won the cup. Okay, people are now saying, did Iniesta ever win the UEFA Cup? Did Iniesta or Xavi ever win the UEFA Cup? Let me see. Did Xavi or Iniesta ever win? When? When did they win the UEFA Cup? What year? Because I know they won the Champions League, but when 2015? No. No. I said, wait, what are you guys on about? No. 2015, they won the Champions League. I said, have they ever won the UEFA Cup or the Champions League? That's what I said, the UEFA Cup or the Champions League. Super chat. Thank you from Jamal Gaskin. Jamal Gaskin, thank you very much for the super chat. Barca fan here. Sell the Us and Coutinho for Neymar. Disappointed with Coutinho and Dembele lacks link-up play ability. And Suarez has been terrible. Jamal Gaskin, thank you very much for the super chat there. All right, let's break this down. Don't sell the Us. That's very dangerous. The Us is young, but he's still super, super talented. And a player that talented, you cannot sell. Sell Coutinho. Sell that dude. You ain't going to sell him for 150, but me, you can get 80 or 90 from it. I think Coutinho is pointless. Neymar, no. Okay, put it this way. If Barcelona could get Neymar, if they sold the Us and Coutinho, I'll give it the green light. If it is guaranteed Barcelona would get Neymar if they sold the Us and Coutinho, boom. I don't think Neymar is leaving PSG. I think that he's got a marketing thing, branding thing happening at PSG. So I think him being at PSG is more about just football now. It's much more about he's building a business there, and I think it's important that he has the business base at PSG there. So I don't see him leaving. So in my view, keep the Us. I say keep the Us, and I think that would be the best thing to do is to keep those. But yeah, as I say, Coutinho is trash. He's complete and utter trash. So I mean, the Cannibal has been crap, and I believe that for the Cannibal, he's done. The Cannibal is done as a player. Like, he used to be quality. You, as the main striker for a top club, you can't give me one Champions League goal a season. You can't do that. That's messed up. That is completely and utterly ridiculous. You cannot give me one Champions League goal for the entire campaign. So that's messed up. So another super chat here again from Jamal Gaskin. Thank you very much for the super chats, Mr. Jamal. Neymar back. He needs it. Barca needs it. Now, okay, Jamal, let's break this down. I said this on the Hangout. And remember, my Neymar video is going to be coming very soon. But this is what I said on the Hangout. This is what I said, and I'll be fully clear here. Let me be real. Neymar should go back to Barcelona. Because what I've seen in Neymar can be a leader. Can be an alpha. It's actually, there's some very close parallels. I don't know how many of you guys watch the NBA or basketball, because I've just been watching First Take and Undisputed, and with the Celtics being eliminated, they've sort of been saying this about Kyrie Irving, about how Kyrie Irving is one of the most talented basketball players in the Liga, maybe of all time, but he's not a leader. He doesn't have those leadership skills. And for me, I think Neymar can be a main guy. He can be a main man. I'm not sure how good Neymar's leadership skills are. I don't know whether Neymar is the kind of dude I want when we're in the trenches and our backs are against the wall. And I just feel that the longer that PSG are in this kind of holiday camp that is Ligue 1, it will always damage them when they now come and face real teams in the Champions League. It will always get towards them. So if I'm Neymar, get your ass back to Barcelona. Be your Messi side piece. That's what you are. You've not proven to me. I mean, has this guy won a Copa America? Has this guy won what has this guy done off his own back? Yes, you won the Champions League in 2015, and you have a major reason for that, but you were still part of a team that had a peak Cannibal and, of course, Messi. So for Neymar, get back to Barcelona. Get back, because if you're to be taken seriously as a player on the world stage, show up in La Liga games because La Liga is far greater competition than the trash you face in Liga. And then Neymar cannot be even talked about in the world stage. See, people say that like Neymar is tier one or one of the best. I say, what are you smoking? What the hell are you guys smoking? How are you even sniffing him or him being close to be tier one? That's complete and utter crap. So yeah, basically that's my take. But going back to Griezmann. If I'm advising Griezmann, well said, you have to leave. It's over. You are not going to achieve anything at Atletico. You will not achieve anything at Atletico. It's done. If I'm Barcelona, as the boy Jamal was saying, I would actually just, from the first part I was saying, Atletico, what up? I'll get on the phone. I'll be like, yo, Atletico, would you like a swap deal for Philippe? Yeah. No. Relax, chill. Yeah. No. He just doesn't suit our play, but we think he can be better for you. Relax, chill. We give you Coutinho, you give us Griezmann. Guy, no, chill. Philippe. We give you Philippe, you give us Antoine. Trust me, could he'll G up. No, guaranteed he'll G up. I guarantee 25 Gs. Look, he's called Coutinho. He'll G up. Make that deal happen. So, now if they don't agree to a swap deal, Barcelona should put in a bid for Griezmann because what Griezmann will bring is what Coutinho failed to bring. Because I think that Griezmann will be sharper and work well and link up better with Lionel. And remember, the Ous is French. So, and I think, because I look at their Instagram, I think the Ous is actually pretty good friends with Griezmann and his brother as well. So it's always good whenever you have guys who are friends off the pitch because it really helps to create that kind of understanding and everything. But I believe Griezmann would work better. So basically, Griezmann would be what I think Barcelona hoped Coutinho would be. And I think, as someone said, that's front three of the Ous, Griezmann and Messi. I think that could be money. So let's go to some super chats from Biarza Klumpt. What's your thoughts about Moo's third season disease? I love Uncle Moo. I always loved Uncle Moo. Uncle Moo is one of my idols. He's one of my heroes. But I can still be objective and say that there may be some truth in it. There may be some truth in it because I think it's because Mourinho is a results-based coach. He is about getting results for the team. And because he's about getting results for the team, he maxes out in the first season, really maxes out in the second season. So by the time you get to the third season, the guys have been so maxed out. If you see like an Ancelotti, a Pep, or a Klopp, they are constantly building and improving. One of Mourinho's key weaknesses is that he is not really good at developing the skills and the talents long-term for players. He's about results. He's about results, and he's about just getting the best results for the players that he has. So I think once he now gets a result, that's it. He's not a long-term manager. He cannot... Basically, he is... Even if Fergie was one of his heroes, he is the complete opposite of a Fergie. Complete opposite. Like I can never see Mourinho having sustained success at one club for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years. I don't consider that happen. Same thing with Wenger. I think Wenger and Fergie are very similar coaches because they have... See, Fergie, Wenger, Pep, even maybe you say Klopp, they have philosophies. So if you're a philosophical coach, you can have sustained success for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. But Mourinho is a strategist. So he's about, what do I do in this particular game to win? What do I do in this season to win? He's not thinking 5-6 years in advance. He's thinking about as of the right now. See, Pep and Klopp, they're thinking of the right now, but also thinking 5-6-7 years in advance. And what made Fergie so great is that he was able to destroy teams, rebuild teams, destroy teams, rebuild teams, destroy teams, rebuild teams, to keep on having that sustained win. But yeah, so that's just what I think. From Vishal Sriram with the $2 super chat. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the $2 super chat from Vishal Sriram. James Harden and Alex are Class A bricks. I will call James Harden a Class C brick, because he is still useful. He's still useful, but when it comes to pressure, he's trash. Hence why I said that I never want to hear that guy's name ever spoken of again. Anytime anybody even utters the name of James Harden, I'll turn the TV off. I don't give a damn how many points he scores in the regular season. He's crap. He's completely and utterly useless. So I don't want to hear anything more from that dude. Alexis Sanchez is a Class A brick. I am on the cusp of making him a scholar. I'm on the cusp of making the guy a scholar, because the guy is bad. So yeah, Alexis Class A, James Harden Class C. From Rahil R, thank you very much for the super chats. From Rahil R. So Rahil R says Griezmann should join PSG. Perfect for him. Why would that be perfect for him? In my opinion, I really believe that Barcelona is perfect for him. If you look at how Barcelona play, how important they are about keeping the ball, especially how they counter, I really feel and believe that it's going to be very important for. I think he would be a far better fit in Barcelona. Because remember, at Atletico and even for France, they have a very defined system. And I think, see, Griezmann is a player who really needs very clear instructions. He cannot individually do things off his own. Which is why Neymar, see, as much as I think that Neymar should go back to Barcelona, I think Neymar actually fits PSG very well, because Neymar is a free thinker and he does not rely on specific instructions. I think Griezmann is not a free thinker. He does rely on having a specific role and a particular system. So, and Barcelona do have a very specific system. PSG don't have a system. For PSG, it's free for all. Do whatever the hell you want, which I think is the issue. So, which is why I think that at Barcelona it would be a much better fit for him. From Saswat Pani, is Coutinho trash or just a case of a bad fit? Coutinho is not trash. He has been trash for Barcelona. So I would say it is a bad fit. So the reason why he is currently a Class B brick is because he's been crap for Barcelona. But I do believe that is a bad fit. I think if you put Coutinho in, let's say, like a Sevilla, for instance, a very attack-minded team that likes to take shots and really are very direct, I think he'd work really well for them, you know. I think he'd work well for Liverpool as well. I just feel that Barcelona and the way that the team is built and the way that they work systematically, just to work for Coutinho, and loses the ball, doesn't really get things going. So I just think in that instance, I think that's why it's more of a bad fit. From Jamal Gaskin, thank you again for the super chats, bro. How the hell do I get on our Hangouts? Tweets, send me a tweet. Send me a tweet, then I will get one of my Hangout group people on Twitter to get you into the group, and then you'll be able to write in. So let's talk Ander Herrera. Let's talk about Ander Herrera. So United Twitter have gone into meltdown. They've gone into meltdown. So why? Well, basically, what I have heard is Herrera is going to be leaving Man United. And so, initially, it's like, okay, He's leaving them. So what? But the clincher, real clincher is Ashley Young and Phil Jones. I call them Ashley Jones, have been given new contracts. So, if you're telling me that you won't give Ander Herrera a new contract, but you're going to give a Class A break and a Class B break, new contracts, worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, that is quite scary and quite sickening. You see, for me, Ander Herrera, I think that he's not the greatest player in the world, but he's functional. And I feel that in what has been a very disappointing season for Man United, Ander Herrera has definitely been one of the bright spots and more consistent, better performance for Man United. So this makes zero sense. And for me, it's like, who is making these calls? Because Ashley Young is crap. And I think that is the issue that I think how I just feel like if United are in such a bad spot, and I've said this many times, how is your worst player your captain? How does that work? How is your worst player your captain? Ashley Young is horrible. He's crap. Like, this guy is horrible. Horrible. And he's the captain. So how is your worst player, who is a Class A break, your captain? And how do you even think about giving it? It's similar to how they gave Rooney a contract extension. And I was like, how are you giving Rooney a contract extension? How? Based on what? Why would you give him a contract extension? What has he done to warrant a contract extension? So I think that if that is true, that Ander Herrera is leaving, and I'm hearing that Herrera is going to PSG, which I think is interesting. So if Herrera is going to go to PSG, and United are going to still remain in 6th or 5th in the Premier League, because they're getting top 4, and Ashley Young and Phil Jones are still going to step out in United jerseys next season. If you're a United fan, you have to protest, bro. You have to do something, because that's just offensive. Like, that is offensive to your intelligence for sure. All right, let's have another super chat here. So this is super chat from Rahil R. If you're Real Madrid, who do you get, Pogba or Eriksen? Okay. Again, thank you very much for the super chats there, Rahil R. So Rahil, let's say Real Madrid don't get Zad. Get Eriksen. Although, let me be real with you, I don't rate Eriksen that highly. I think Eriksen, he's decent. He's tier 3. I think, he's definitely a tier 3 star. I don't rate him that highly. So I feel that Real Madrid, they're probably going to get thingy. But even if they don't get that, you've got to roll with Pogba. And the reason why I say Pogba is, don't judge Pogba on what has happened this season because he's playing with trash. I feel that, especially with how long this core that Real Madrid have had with, Real have to make a choice. Do you forgo Modric or do you forgo Toni Kroos? Toni Kroos is a damn good midfielder. I've never felt Toni Kroos is that great. I know people call me Kroos, not that great. A midfield of Modric, Casemiro, and Pogba, I think is money. I think that's a money midfield. I think that's a money midfield. I mean, Modric, Casemiro, and Pogba, that's deep. That's deep because what Pogba has always needed is a Modric. That's what he's needed. Where Modric is the guy who keeps the ball, who sets the tempo, who holds the midfield down. Casemiro is the guy who does the demo, but specifically Modric, which allows Pogba to roam where he wants to. He can turn up on the wing. He can turn up just outside the D. He can help in midfield. He can help in the DM. But he's not held on and restricted to being the controller or being the DM. Because the issue is that at United, he is held down and constrained to really being the controlling midfielder. Pogba is not a controller. He can be that, but that is not quintessential his role. When we've seen Pogba at his best at Juventus and for France, the World Cup is where he is free to roam and do what he can. That's why I say that. Even I think it's going to be possible if Real Madrid can get Kante. You see, if Real Madrid have a summer where, I know this is impossible, but let's just say they get a summer in which they get Kante, they get Pogba, they get Zad, Real Madrid are going to be real next season. I think they're going to be very real there next. If they can get those, they won't get him. They can't get all three. It's impossible. But if they're able to do that, then I think Real could be money next season. So yeah, just to end on this. So look, for United, I mean, it makes no sense that you would be going with or having faith in flipping Ashley Young and Phil Jones. I mean, that basically just shows that, United are just in a very, very sad, disgraceful situation. And the decline is going to continue that they had since Fergie left. So yeah, this is something I read was interesting. And still keeping with Man United. Ligt, Matches the Ligt, who allowed Lucas Moura to score a hat-trick on him at home. Apparently, United actually passed on him last summer because of apparent weight issues. What? which look, who knows? It may be crazy, but you're now having a situation where, you passed him last summer, and now Ligt is now one of the most coveted central defenders in the world at the tender age of 19. And because, trust me, Ligt would greatly be useful for United, but I think as we go with right now, United are nowhere near top of the list for him going. I think for Ligt, it's between two clubs, Bayern Munich and Barcelona. Bayern could greatly use Ligt. Boateng is done. I think he's finished and he needs to consider retirement. I'm not sold on Sule. I don't think Sule is a top tier defender. I think he's at best a tier 3 defender, is alright. And Hummels is past his peak. He is still durable. He can still do the job, but he's definitely past his peak. He's no longer 2014 Hummels. So I believe that Bayern Munich need Ligt a lot more than Barcelona need Ligt. Because remember, Barcelona have Piqué, they've got Longley, and they've got Umtiti. So they've got two very good defenders and one pretty good defender. Bayern Munich have one pretty decent defender, one defender that was pretty much crap, and another one who I don't think is that great. So I think Bayern Munich should be the ones who should go out and aggressively chase Ligt, because I think that they would use him. They would need him a lot more than I think Barcelona would. So I just circle right back to Zad. So actually, before I do that, let me quickly take a break. I'll be back. I'm going to get myself another one of these. Let me say another one of these. So speak within yourselves. If you have any super chats, send in your super chats and I'll see them. So I'll be back here in 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute. Your boy's back. Your boy is back. All right. Right. So Yo, back in the game. So Zad. So will Zad be a success at Real Madrid if he goes? For me, it's a huge move for Hazard. And let's just be real. Hazard has never, in his whole career, had to deal with the pressure of being a big player playing for a big, massive team. He's never had that. Yo, boy, James, I'm still live, baby. I'm still live. Of course, I'm live. We are going for a marathon today. Okay, we are going for. Remember, it's Saturday. It's cool. It's bada bing, and we're going for a marathon, man. So it's because I will get to talk about the final days of the season and get your thoughts on what is going down through there. But yeah, we're gonna go as far as long as we possibly can on this, you know. So for Zad, man, let's keep it real. Throughout his Chelsea tenure, so when he first arrived at Chelsea, he wasn't seen as, okay, this is the main guy that we're not expecting. So remember, nobody knew of this guy when he was at Lille. And I always said during his first few years at Chelsea that De Bruyne was more clutch than him. And De Bruyne was actually better than him when they were both playing for Belgium. Whenever they played for Belgium, it was De Bruyne that came with those key goals and came with those key clutch moments. And yes, there was a time that Sanchez was better than Hazard. Of course there was. And for me, people keep giving me crap about it because I'm like Zad. But yeah, it shows you how real I am. I've never always been on the whole Zad train. Like, there was a time in which Hazard used to dribble around in circles. There was a time when Hazard was Pedro. Hazard was Pedro 3.0. He was Pedro 3.0 at a point. And that was a time in which Sanchez was literally carrying Arsenal on his back. That's the time in which Sanchez was literally carrying Chile on his back. Remember when Chile won back-to-back Copa America titles, when he helped Arsenal to an FA Cup win, for me, Sanchez was one of the deadliest players in Europe. As far as a one-man wrecking ball, he was one of the most deadliest players. And Hazard just wasn't as effective as I think he was. But Sanchez declined. He moved to United, became a Class A brick. And the turning points for Hazard was that World Cup. That World Cup was the turning points for him. Maybe it was a case of him having the captain's armband or the kind of strategy and foundation that was built for him in the Belgian side. And I think through there is what you saw, a player realizing that, wait a minute, I am that dude. I am the alpha male. Let me stop dribbling around in circles. Let me actually try and be much more effective. Let me try and be bolder and more confident in my abilities. I don't think that Zad was confident or had a great belief in his abilities back when he was at Chelsea during the early days. But I think once he now was able to recognize what he was able to do as that dude, I think that's where he became money. And that is why I said that, you know what, he's that big time player. But this Real Madrid move presents something completely new and completely different, and it's a whole different ball of wax. It's a whole different ball of wax because this is about what can you do when the pressure is on for a big team. Chelsea are not as big a club as Real Madrid, not even close. They're nowhere near as big. And the pressure you have for Chelsea is nowhere close to the pressure you have for Real Madrid. Remember, which I already said, Hazard came in to Chelsea as an unknown player. He'll be coming into Real Madrid as a marquee signing, as a top star. That's very, very different, and that is a whole kind of different psychology to have. So let me just get to the super chat. So from Rahil R, the world isn't ready for the Zad and Benzema duo. Guys, let me be real with you. I think Benzema isn't that great. I don't think it's that great. And I think that you have a lot of Benzema fanboys who just love Benzema because they just love him for some reason. But I do see potentially a Zad and Benzema do a walking, because let's just be real. Zad is creating for trash. Giroud is a link-up player who helps link up guys. Higuain has not been relevant since 2014. Okay, be real. Okay, be real. Higuain has not been relevant since 2014. So that's just where we stand right there. But Benzema, when he's on his feet, Benzema can finish. And even Benzema at his worst and everything, Benzema, each day, every day, is a better finisher than both Giroud and Higuain. Benzema is a better striker than both Giroud and Higuain. So is Zad Benzema duo? I think that's interesting. I think that is interesting because we all know that Zad is going to play wide left, but be given somewhat of a free role, and he's going to be looking to provide for and cut in on the inside and trying to weave through and combine with a Benzema. And we all know that Benzema is actually technically a very good footballer. He's very good on the ball, and he's a very smart player that can really play on and off one touch with players. So he's just not only a predator or a finisher like a Harry Kane or a flipping Immobile is. So yeah, let's see. I mean, am I going to say, oh no, for sure that it's going to work? No. I don't know whether for sure it's going to work, but let's see how it goes. From James, shout out to James, our moderator. Lampard, top 5 goal scorers of all times. Thoughts? No, I wouldn't say, as far as goal scorers, no. But I would say Lampard might be the top goal scoring midfielder of all time. I don't think that you can name me a more proficient goal-scoring midfielder than Lampard. Because when you look at goal scorers, you've got to look at Pele, you've got to look at Messi, you've got to look at Cristiano, you've got to look at Raul, you've got to look at Alan Shearer, you've got to look at Batistuta, you've got to look at, there are so many, Hugo Sanchez, you've got to look at, there have been a lot of very, very crazy goal scorers who've done it for a large period of time, both internationally and club-wise as well. But as far as because again, see, Yaya Toure had like that one incredible season when he had those goals. See, for me, like that has to be maybe one of the probably the best goal-scoring season. Okay, see that Yaya Toure season is definitely the best goal. It's the best season a Premier League midfielder has ever had. But I think overall, I would argue that Lampard may be, unless you can give me a better name, that Lampard may be the best goal-scoring midfielder that we've ever seen. You know, because just go on Wikipedia. If you go on Wikipedia and you look at the amounts of goals that this guy has scored from midfield, it's quite frightening. It's literally quite frightening and quite scary. So, what are we saying about Man City? Do Man City drop points tomorrow? Because I think the league is already done. Because Pep, I don't care about the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Like, if somehow, some way, City managed to scrub against Brighton and Liverpool win the league, I mean, my God. But do you know what I think? Do you know the sickest thing? The sickest thing that could happen is if City drop points and Liverpool drop points. Imagine if you have a scenario where it's City draw 1-1 with Brighton and Liverpool draw 0-0 with Wolves. So Liverpool were waiting all this time for City to drop points. They drop points and they drop points. I mean, then that's where you're like, man, that was pretty. But I already believe that it's already a done deal. Like, I already believe that it's already a done deal. Like, I think City have come too far. They're too focused. Even if Brighton are still, as we still remember, Brighton had already been confirmed as being safe when they played Arsenal, and they took points off Arsenal away from home. Now, granted, City are a better team, much better team than Arsenal are. So, City, I think what will give City confidence is that Brighton are not playing for anything. They've already survived. But the fact that Brighton have zero pressure on them and they're just going down to play, and all the pressure and the sweat is going to be on Man City. And you saw how, look, City, they've all been doing 1-0, and the fact that City have only been winning 1-0 is, you can definitely see that the pressure is getting to them. But the difference is the pressure is getting to them, but they're not folding under the pressure. See, Liverpool are different. The pressure was on them against Leicester City, they flopped. The pressure was on them against West Ham, they flopped. Pressure was on Man City against Fulham, they came through. Pressure was on Man City against Leicester City, they came through. And I feel that if the pressure comes to them again against Brighton, which it will, I still feel somehow, some way, maybe a closest game, they're coming through. Or they could just win 5-0. Or they could just probably win 5-0. But I mean, and I think, look, I mean, if you're Liverpool, you just have to just go out there and play a game. Like, there's no point. I mean, I think if you're Liverpool, you have to just assume that City will do their job and just do a thing. Liverpool's focus, and this is what I've been saying because I came for weeks. When Liverpool lost, so when Liverpool dropped the points against West Ham and Leicester City, and Man City went back to the top, I said the league was done. Like, they're just moments in a title race when you know that a certain team has received the momentum and another team has lost the momentum. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what? They've lost it. So that's what I was saying to all of my Liverpool friends, that the focus for Liverpool has to be the Champions League. That has to be their focus. That has to be what they are fully 100% rooting for. And I think if they keep their focus on there, boom. Because I felt that, no, you have a very good chance of winning the Champions League. And I don't give a damn about the Premier League or what it is. The Champions League is the number one club competition. I don't care. I don't care how branded the Premier League is. I don't care about how many people support Premier League teams. You can never, ever, ever, ever convince me that the Premier League is more important or a bigger trophy than the Champions League. You never will. The Champions League will always be the biggest trophy to win. Which is why, as much as Barcelona have kicked Real Madrid's ass in La Liga, Real Madrid can say we have more Champions League titles than you, and we won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. As much as Juventus are going to win 10 titles in a row in Serie A, Griezmann can just say, yo, we've got 5 European Cups, you've won 2. We're bigger. Any team who has more European trophies, they're the bigger team. They're simply the bigger team. So who was, yeah. Well, that's interesting. Who has more European trophies, Liverpool or Man United? I believe Liverpool have the most European trophies in England, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Liverpool. Okay. Guys, let me be real. Liverpool were Champions League finalists last season. Champions League finalists this season. I believe they win the Champions League this season. Liverpool, we can probably say, are now a major player in Europe because they're going to be a force in Europe. Because this team will only get stronger because you have a very strong core and you have a team that is very difficult to defeat. So I believe that next 3, 4, 5 years, they are going to be a major constant force and a constant stone in society in Europe. And I just think under Klopp's Tuesday, because again, Klopp is one of my favorite coaches. You know, I just love the guy's energy and the guy's approach. Liverpool are here to stay, man. I think we can officially say that Liverpool are now a major European force. So when we now mention Bayern, we mention Barcelona, we mention Juventus, we mention Real Madrid, we've got to mention Liverpool as well. We can't mention Man United. We can't do it. We can't mention Arsenal. We mention Man City. Although, should we mention Man City? Should we mention Man City? Because let's keep it real. Amazing 100 points in the Premier League. Probably going to win this right now in the league as well. But under Pep, have Man City ever made the semi-finals under Pep? In 3 years. Have they ever made the semi-finals under Pep Guardiola? They've never made the finals, right? I know that, but have they ever made... So in the 3 years, 2 billion spent, have they ever made the semi-finals? Pellegrini did, as you know, as I'm just seeing in the chat room now. Pellegrini did make the so see what you will, and they lost to the eventual winners. So what's that to be said? So I am not sure whether we can say that City, because for me, I don't care about legacy and history. Like, if we want to talk about legacy and history, then yes, AC Milan are big. In 2019, AC Milan are irrelevant. In 2019, one would argue that Liverpool are the bigger team. You know, because I respect you doing your domestic thing, but the Champions League is the biggest trophy. So again, which is the bigger club, Real Madrid or Barcelona? Yes, Barcelona have won all the La Liga titles. The last time that Barcelona won the Champions League was in 2015, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4 years ago. Soon it will be 5. So when we get to 20, it will be 5 years since they won a Champions League crown. We all know what Real Madrid did. Can I give you 2017? Can I give you 2018? Can I give you 2019? So can I give you 2016? 2017? Can I give you 2018? Oh, can I also throw in a 2014 in there as well? So that's what makes these things very complex, because you can have an argument for a Man City and a Barcelona. You can also have a very strong argument for a Liverpool and a Real Madrid. Now, let's switch. If Liverpool end this season trophyless, I'm inducting them the badge. I don't give a crap about how many points they gain. If it's a situation where you cannot beat Tottenham to win it's fair enough. We went up against Real Madrid, boom. You were never going to beat that team. Like, that team was just a very special team. If you're telling me you cannot beat Tottenham Hotspur, that's what they call it. I mean, I'm not making this up. That's what they call it. Like, I checked. Well, unless I'm wrong. They're playing a team called Tottenham Hotspur. If you can't beat Tottenham Hotspur for a CL, I've got to induct the badge. Like, Tottenham are playing with house money. Tottenham are playing with house money. So it's see, the Liverpool, nobody was beating that Real Madrid side. I mean, even if Salah was fit, no one was beating that Real Madrid side. They went. Just that's Real Madrid side. They were just special. They were just special. So yeah, that was the thing. So yeah, so look, man. I think for this whole Zad thing, like, all I ask of Zad is to deliver the Europa League. I think that would be the perfect footnote for him to leave the club with. And I think if he's to leave through that, I think that would be amazing. Like, the perfect ending, which is not what we're gonna have. The perfect ending is if Zad scores like the final penalty to lead them to victory. That would be the perfect thing. And like, I mean, Chelsea post Zad. Like, look, one day we'll have to have a separate conversation, maybe on a different life. That's how are Barcelona going to cope in a post-Messi world? Like, that is frightening. Because my belief was, I always felt that, I don't know how you guys feel, I always felt that Messi would retire at Newell's Old Boys. That maybe either the last year of his career or last 2-3 years of his career, he'd go back to Argentina and retire at Newell's Old Boys. The way I'm looking at it is, I feel that he's going to retire at Barcelona. Like, I think that's what he's going to be doing. Like, put it this way. You know what make me laugh? Imagine if, let's say, Messi just decided to leave this summer, and Barcelona were rolling into next season with a front two of Coutinho and Suarez. You know what? You know those guys will probably finish 5th or 6th. Just, just imagine that if Messi, shockingly, like those are the biggest shocks, say, yo, guys, I'm out. I'm leaving. I want to go back to New York, old boys. I'm done with Barcelona. And Barca, all they stuck with was a frontline of Spurs and Coutinho. That would be both scary, frightening, and hilarious at the same time. So, yeah, man, but look, but I think if come if come Sunday evening afternoon and City are not Premier League winners, man, see, I think this would then rank as one of the most shocking conclusions to a season that we've ever had. If City don't manage to get it done, because I just think that there's, Brighton. I mean, look, because let's just be real. If City can't beat Brighton in order to be champions, I mean, because let's be real. Liverpool are very strong at Anfield, super strong, and I think after the Barca game, they're going to be fully confident. But I mean, Wolves are strong. Wolves are a strong team, and I think Wolves are no pushovers. Remember, Wolves were the team that knocked them out of the FA Cup, although Liverpool played a second string side. But yeah, man, I mean, it's gonna be like Liverpool definitely have the harder game. I think City's game against Brighton is only hard because of how much is at stake. Like, if City were playing Brighton in November or December or January, I mean, it'd be like an easy 3-0, 2-0. But because there's that added weight and that added pressure of like, oh my gosh, this is the game that can give us that title yet again, they won't be playing as freely as they would if this game was played in November or December. But I think, look, this team has shown that whenever pressure has arisen, they've been able to ride. They've been able to ride very well. So, I think it's well too. But speaking of which as well, how long do you guys think it's going to take United before they become relevant again? Because let me level with you. I'm not sure when United will finish in the top four next. You know. So tell me. So, how long do you think it will take United? 6 years. Wow. Did I say 15? Yeah. I mean, no, look, man, it's gonna take a long time, bro. 2 years, no, bro. If it was me, I think, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at that, the 4 or 5 year range. Definitely the 4 or 5 year range for United, because the Premier League is too competitive. City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. Tottenham, I don't know because of Levy. They're all going to get stronger next season, and yeah, United will get stronger. But I just think that there is a massive gap, and I mean, you're not hearing that. See, Pogba may be sold, and I think that United should sell Pogba for sure. So if we now anticipate that Pogba is going to get sold, Martial most likely is going to get sold. It's going to be very tough. Okay, look, I think someone just made a comment here. I've got to reply to this man. You can't say that about Fergie. You can't say that about Fergie, man. Fergie was big time. Like, because the beauty of what Fergie did, apart from winning 2 Champions Leagues, is he defeated the Arsenal threat, he defeated the Chelsea threat, he defeated the Man City threat, and somewhat went beneath around the Liverpool threat as well. Every single time that there was a new threat coming in with big money spent behind them, he was able to recoup, rejig, rebuild his team, and be able to defeat them. And I think there is definitely a skill where you're able to totally break apart a team, rebuild a team, and build a whole new team. And that is, I think, what Wenger failed to do, because Wenger was hoping to keep hold of a core and keep faith and loyalty to that core throughout a long time. Whereas Fergie was more about, no, I'm going to buy the players I need to win right now. If these players don't do it, I'm going to scrap it, rebuild, restart, rejig, and just head away and just go. So I think that is sort of the difference between the both of them guys, man. From Rahil R. Now, it's very good thing because I actually wanted to even speak on this. Thoughts on Beast Mode? Is there any hope for him? Thank you very much for the donation there. Super chats from Rahil R. Thank you. So, Rahil, Beast Mode. Oh, that is interesting. I totally forgot. Because remember when I said my front three, I didn't even mention it because I said, okay, you have Benzema as a striker, you have Zad wide left, and you have Asensio there, but then you also got Vinicius there as well. But I said, okay, what about Gareth Bale? But Gareth Bale is the guy that plays wide right. You have Zad wide left. And I don't know what Zidane's view on Bale is. Because Bale has had a love-hate relationship with Real Madrid. And I do feel like if for Real Madrid, when a player does certain things, you can't really say much to him. He scored the crucial goal in the 2014 final. That was a crucial goal. Like the Marcelo and Cristiano goals were somewhat irrelevant. Like the key goal was the one he scored. I think that was to make it 2-1. Remember, Ramos scored the equalizer. That he scored that key goal that actually gave them the winning goal. Then Marcelo and Cristiano just put the cushion on it. So, oh my God, from coming off the bench, and he even said in the interview that when he came off the bench in the 2018 final, he was pissed off. He was pissed off, and to score 2 goals, one of which is one of the greatest goals scored in Champions League history, you can't insult him. So if I'm Zidane, a guy that's talented, you have to keep faith in him because there are match-winning goals in that dude. Forget goals. He's a match winner. He's a guy that can individually do something out of nothing. He's arguably one of the best players who has ever come out from the British Isles. Because remember, let's keep it real. And I think I was actually having this conversation with, I can't remember what I was having this conversation with someone. You know how we talk about the different leagues? Now, let me even ask you this. How many players from the Premier League have moved over to La Liga and been successful? Because I argued to a point, McManaman, when he moved to Real Madrid, Beckham for me wasn't that much of a success. Owen wasn't that much of a success. And I can't even think of any of the other ones. For me, I think that Beast Mode was one of the few players who came from the Premier League and was money. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. Cannibal, yeah. But you know the weird thing about this? Do you know what I never really thought about the Cannibal? He came... okay, see, Cannibal didn't spend that long in Liverpool, and he came via Ajax. But someone also mentioned Modric. Yes. For me, I would say Modric for sure. Because Cannibal, as we've seen, like the guy is already on the decline now. Even if he was a pretty big success, Henry wasn't that successful. Stop it. He wasn't. Like Henry at Barcelona was nowhere near Henry in the Premier League. So Cristiano, yeah. Cristiano, yeah. So yeah, okay. So now when I remember, so Cristiano. So for me, I would say Cristiano, Modric, Bale. Cristiano, Modric, Bale. Those are the ones. But see, that's the thing about... See, I'm looking at performance-wise. For me, Cristiano's best days as a football player was for Man United. Like, that final season he had with the Man United was nowhere near... He never had any kind of season for Real Madrid like his last season for Man United. He never did. The Cannibal, last season for Liverpool, he never had that for Barcelona. But for me, Modric's best seasons have been with Real Madrid. His best seasons have been with Real Madrid. But what I would say is that, yeah, all those guys that you mentioned were definitely a success. But I think a standout is a standout for me is I would say is Modric. You know, I would say is Modric for. I mean, look, like he's won a Ballon d'Or as well for it. You know, I say it was Modric, man. So with regards to no, there is still hope for beast mode. There is still hope for beast mode, but I would keep faith in him. And this is what I've said. If I'm Tottenham, you go for a beast mode. You see, for me, if let's say Tottenham had just in a crazy world, let's just talk hypothetically. Let me even bring this thing a bit closer. Oops. See, if Tottenham had a chance, to get Bale, if they had a chance to get Bale, and you had a front line of beast mode, Lucas Moura and Son, that would be dangerous. That would be. See, for me, I would drop Kane. That's just me. I would drop Kane and have a front line of beast mode, Lucas Moura and Son in the East. So because for me, like he's had a very iffy season for sure, and there've been games where he's been crap. Fully, there's been games where he's been crap, but I don't think that Real are in a situation where they need to sort of sell beast mode. I still think that they can definitely keep him, man. But yeah, so looking back to Barcelona, man. So for Barca, get Griezmann. Barcelona's main priority this summer is a replacement for Coutinho and Suarez. Because look, Busquets is definitely getting older, Piqué is definitely getting older, but those guys are functional. Why did Barcelona lose that game against Liverpool? Yes, there were defensive errors, but Liverpool were always going to score. Everybody knew that Liverpool were going to score. But as everyone said that Barcelona only needed to get a goal or even 2 goals, which they could have gotten if they had players with something. But put it this way, I think that if Barcelona rocked up to that stadium with the Us and Griezmann, they get at least 1 or 2 goals. And that was it. That they just were not efficient enough attacking-wise. Remember the chance that Alba had? People forget. Remember the 1-on-1 that the Cannibal had? A more competent striker puts that away. If that was Dembele in that situation, fully fit, or Griezmann in that situation, most likely they'll put it away. So the difficulty that the reason why Barcelona went at, it's not Valverde's tactics. It's not Valverde's tactics. It's they didn't have effective strikers that put away those, because the chances were there for Barcelona. Liverpool were very good defensively, but the chances were there for Barcelona, and better players put away those chances. I remember, like Barca, like you were always going to get hits for G's, but all that matters is we go to the final, and the only way we go to the final is we needed to score at least once or twice. You can't score if your strikers are crap. You can't score if your main striker's only giving you 1 Champions League goal a season. So I don't understand a scenario how Suarez still remains part of the Barcelona setup. The only reason why Suarez will still be a Barcelona player is because of Messi. Because Messi is very good friends with Suarez. And that is harmful. And Messi holds so much sway. Because if I'm Valverde or the Barcelona director, I'll say Suarez, I think we need a younger striker here. We need a younger, sharper striker here. Now, I don't think Luka Jovic is that good. I mean, I don't think he's that good. But what I'm saying is that, like, look, and this is an argument that if a player can score these amounts of goals with a super average team like Frankfurt, maybe if you give him a far better team, i.e. Barcelona, where he's going to receive a lot more chance to play with the better players, maybe we'll now see him play at an elevated level. So maybe there might be some truth, and you know what? let's try and go in for a Luka Jovic, who is a more potent, better striker than the kind of Suarez. And I think the thing with Coutinho is that I call it as I see it. And I think Coutinho is definitely one of those players that I think if the pressure gets to him, you can definitely visually see it. And that is why when you saw him score that goal that he scored, when he scored that goal against United, and he put his hands in his ears and everything, he knows the critics and he knows the people who have been going up against him. But it's like what you just seen from this dude is that it just hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked. And scoring an amazing goal once every 5, 6, 7, 8 games isn't good enough. And it's not even the thing about the goals. Like, look, if he was playing this badly but scoring goals consistently, then look, it is what it is. Goals win games. So the fact that you're not really scoring a high volume of goals, and where is your creativity? Where are your assists? What are you doing to affect the game in a positive way for the team? Do you ever really stand out in games? Do you ever really take a foothold of games? Because I see what the US does. Granted, sometimes the US does have bad games. Sometimes he does have games in which he can be ineffective. But on far more occasions, the US will show up. He'll be more he'll be more present in games than what Coutinho is. So for Barcelona, that's what they need to do. And I think you have to look at Messi. And that's for Messi. Do you want to win this? Because I think he definitely wants to win this Champions League again. And I think it's a trophy that he definitely wants to get his hands on. And let me be real. And I think and I don't know whether this is true, but people say, okay, apparently it was really sad, but maybe it was it's Harper that said he was really sad after the whole thing. Because he's done one since 2015. But I think the best chance for Messi to win is that he's going to take a bit of a back seat. And you can't always do things fully on your terms. And what Messi wanted is, I am the full controller, purveyor of this team. I am taking the ball wherever I want. I am creating, I am dribbling, I am passing, I'm goal scoring. I'm doing all of these things because I believe that this is the best chance for us to do this. I think what we've seen is that can happen. 2015, it was 100% a team affair with those front three. And remember, he could lean heavily on Neymar, heavily on the Cannibal, and he also had Iniesta as well. So Iniesta was also doing some of the creative work as well, and you leaned heavily on the attacking prowess of a much better Cannibal and, of course, in Neymar. In 2011, you had a peak David Villa, who was one of the best strikers in the world at the time, and the last time that Pedro was actually relevant. So you had two guys who were top tier. 2009, you had flipping Thierry Henry, who was considered one of the best players in the world at the time, and you had flipping Samuel Eto'o, one of the best strikers of the generation. So are we seeing here? So are we really going to compare Samuel Eto'o, Thierry Henry, David Villa, a 2011 Pedro, Neymar, a 2015 Cannibal to 2019 Neymar, so 2019 Cannibal, 2019 Coutinho, and a young Us. So the evidence shows you, Messi, that I get it, but you need help. You need help. Like the evidence has shown that there's never been a Champions League you've won where you've been able to do it the way that you've done it this season, where you've had to almost single-handedly carry the team. So you have to take a back seat and say, you know what? I need help. I need help, bro. Oh, well, do you have some arguments in the chat room, man? Look, and also, no, Messi is never leaving Barcelona. Like I tell you, I really believe that he's going to retire. Like two things will happen, and these are the only two things happening. Either he retires at Barcelona or he goes back to Neil's old boys. And if I'm going to put money in it, I think he's going to retire at Barcelona. Let's talk Maradona. So I was watching. What was I watching? Yeah, what's it called? I was just browsing the net. What's it called? First showing.net. That's pretty much a place where they just show film stuff. That's like my film website that I always sort of go to. And they posted a thing about the Maradona trailer, which is like a new documentary about Diego Maradona, and of course it was from the same filmmakers that brought you Ayrton Senna. And this thing about Maradona, just even watching that trailer, it just fully exemplified it. I believe Maradona is the greatest football player of all time. And why do I think that? Because with regards of where football are concerned, I believe he's the only player that combines the two most important elements of for football. Talent, stroke ability, and passion. You see, Cristiano has the passion, but not the incredible talent and technical ability. Messi has the incredible technical ability and talent, but he doesn't have the passion. Ronaldo, R9, ridiculous technical ability, not necessarily the passion. Pele, probably you could argue the technical ability for sure, and his achievements. The passion, not too sure about that. Maradona this is what I say, he is the essence of football. Because what you have is the super incredible, amazing, stupendous talent that he had, but you also have the incredible passion, which is what made him such a dangerous player. Because the reason why we love this sport and why we have such a close affinity to this sport is because of the passion, the blood, sweat, and tears that we have of the sport. And when you just look at Maradona, like I remember the first time I was exposed to Maradona was the '94 World Cup. This was when I was still living in Nigeria, and I remember like even before we played Argentina, guys were in all the newspapers. Guys were like, "My gosh, Maradona's playing," and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" I was almost like this was like some kind of like a folk hero or a folk tale. And people were wondering whether he was going to play or not. And even people said that the Nigerian players were actually scared of him because there was such a mystique around him. People were scared of him. And it was the first thing that I just saw, even the first time ever I experienced like an individual have such a profound effect on players on his team and players on an opposing team. And that was not only his talent, but his personality, his desire to win. Because the thing with Messi is amazingly talented. He has all the talent in the world. He doesn't have a personality. He just doesn't have a personality. And I think has always been my issue about him. And in the most difficult of games, what gets you through those games is your personality and your desire and your drive. That's what really gets you through. And see, for Cristiano, of course, Cristiano has talent. Of course, he has goal scoring talent. But I think what Cristiano has a lot more over Messi is that desire and that passion. Like, the biggest games are the ones that Cristiano is always ready to be in. So that's why I've always said that if you combined Messi's talent with Cristiano's passion, you get Maradona. You get Maradona. Like, Maradona is Cristiano's passion and desire and will, and Messi's amazing talent is in Maradona. And people always say, oh yeah, he took drugs, he took coke, he took this. But that's actually what makes him even much more amazing, is that he wasn't the clean-cut image that he once was. That's what makes him far more engaging and interesting, because he was a real person. And real people have flaws. If a guy comes to me and you have no flaws, you're not a real person. I can't connect with you. As an everyday person can connect with somebody who has flaws, because everyday people have flaws. They have issues that they deal with, because and that's what, like I said, with Messi is like, I mean, and that's why people in Argentina have never really took to Messi, because you've never won anything for that country. So you can win all the Champions Leagues, you can win all the La Ligas, you can do all the free kicks. If you can't even give, okay, fair enough, a World Cup is one thing. You can't give us a Copa America. You can't give us one Copa America. I mean, and are we going to ignore the fact? Because I was just thinking about this even today. Are we just going to? Maybe we will. Who knows? Maybe we will. But are we going to ignore the fact that Argentina lost 3 finals in a row? Let me just ask that. Are we just going to ignore the fact you had 3 finals in a row and you lost all 3 of them in a row? Are we going to discuss that, or are we just going to ignore that? No, you can have it. World Cup final, Copa America, and out of nowhere, these guys decided to do this centenary thing. Which is what, like, see, that's the universe just telling you something. That's the universe just trying to inform you. If you lose 3 finals in a row, the universe is trying to tell you in the nicest way possible, it's never happening. As harsh and as unfortunate as that may sound, the universe is trying to tell you that, bruh, it's never happening. Nah, like it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Super chats here. Super chats. From Mui, proper Niger guy. Rather say Ekaso, Bounty. Shout out to you, bro. Love from California, guy. Thank you very much, Mui. Thank you, my Nigerian boy. Thank you. Much love to you, man. Much love to you. Let me just see what's going on in here, man. Let me see what's happening on Twitter. Let me see what's happening on Twitter. Yo. Your boy is live now. Come on in. All right. Guys, don't make excuse for Argentina. I'm like, are we really going to do this? Are we really going to make excuses that a team lost 3 finals in a row? That the teams were better than, and also no, don't give me that crap. Who the hell are Chile? You played Chile twice and you lost to them twice. You're Argentina. You played Chile twice and you lost to them twice. So look, we will have to revisit this whole Messi thing, man, because Messi has done many amazing things. Of course, he's done many amazing things. Messi's greatest feats, for me, are the amount of goals that he has scored and his consistency over a season. But nothing Messi has done has been greater than what Maradona did in the 1986 World Cup. Nothing Messi has done is greater than what Maradona did for Napoli in those 2 seasons. And that's the real thing. So you can show me the free kicks, the goals, the this, the that. It's never anything. And I think for me, like, especially as a football fan, I gravitate. The reason why I look at a Maradona and a Ronaldo for 2 reasons. See, I gravitate towards Maradona because of the guy's passion and just how much desire he goes into it, and just because he's such a complicated, unclean human being, which is why I gravitate towards guys who are not these super clean types, and just the kind of player and the psychology and what he brought psychologically to the pitch. And why I gravitate to a Ronaldo, i.e. an R9 is just technical brilliance. Like, watching Ronaldo is like literally you're watching an alien, and you're watching a machine. That's why I always like using Maradona and the real world Ronaldo as 2 guys, because in Ronaldo you just have a perfect machine, but he's a machine. In Maradona, you just have this human being that just shows you everything that an unclean, unmachine-like human being can bring. And imagine, go to think about, having Griezmann. Imagine a team with a peak Maradona and a peak Ronaldo. Like, my front three, I always say, 4-3 would have been my setup. My front three would be Maradona, Dino, Ronaldo. God, imagine that baby. Imagine that. Imagine that baby. Okay, can we speak about someone interested? Can we have an honest conversation about Kaka? Let's have an honest conversation about Kaka. Kaka definitely helped AC Milan to a lot of their wins in the Serie A and the 2007 Champions League win. Who was more important for AC Milan, Shevchenko or Kaka? If you take Shevchenko out of that AC Milan team, are they as successful? If you take Kaka out of that team but you still have Shevchenko, are AC Milan still successful? Was Shevchenko fully reliant on Kaka to be good? Let's just keep it. Kaka was a very good player. Was a very, very good player. Don't you dare for 1 second put Kaka in the same breath or category as Ronaldinho, or as Rivaldo, or as Romario. That's not happening. It's not happening. I will not allow it. So, because Shevchenko was a beast for AC Milan. Shevchenko was undoubtedly the best striker in the world at his peak. At his peak, Shevchenko was number uno, the best striker in the world. Nobody was better. So maybe if you want to say 04 to 07, Shevchenko was, as far as just an outside striker, Shevchenko was the best striker in the world. And Kaka was definitely a very good, important points playmaker, but they had Shevchenko. So I cannot ever see, I can't call Kaka a legend. I can't say that he was a great homeboy. Thank you, Inzaghi. And who scored the 2 key goals in the 07 final against Liverpool? Your boy Zaghi. Yes, the guy celebrated like it was the end of the world after scoring tap-ins, but look, dude was that dude. So my thing about Kaka was, I'm sorry, man, Kaka was never a dude that I would say, man, this was one of... You can't call Kaka a legend. You can't call him a legend. And let's be real. Let's be real. What happened when Kaka went to Real Madrid? Or we're not going to... What happened when Kaka went to Real Madrid? Okay, so Kaka, he was a very good player. Very good player. Don't call him a legend. All right, Kaka, you were one of the main guys. What did you do for Brazil in the 2006 World Cup? What happened? So come on, man. Let's stop this revisionist history. And also, Kaka was on that pitch in 2005 in the final in the Champions League. He was on the pitch. That's why whenever people talk about great European sides, you look like the Inter Milan side 2010, the Barcelona sides of 2011, of 09, you look at United side of 08, you look at the 2013 Bayern side, you look at 2015 Barcelona side, you look at the Real Madrid 2016 to 2018. Don't put the AC Milan 05 side there. Don't. To this day, I still want an explanation for that crap that happened. You had a 3-0 lead going into halftime in a Champions League final. And you gave it away. That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. And Kaka was on that pitch. So please, don't call that team a great team, and don't call Kaka a great or a legend. He's not. Because legend is a word that gets branded around way too easily. Way too easily, man. And speaking of AC Milan, it's going to be a long time before AC Milan are relevant, you know. So I mean, look, we'll speak more about it in the hangouts. Maybe if we have time. Obviously, in the wait, what are we doing in the hangout? So yeah, so obviously, hangout Sunday we'll obviously be reviewing the Premier League reactions to the Premier League, and yeah, I think it's going to be a roundup of the season. And you know what? Even as the season comes to a close here, what do I think about this season so far? Pretty much the same. Bayern win the Bundesliga. Barcelona win La Liga. So yeah, basically, every single team. So basically, every single team that won last season won this season. Pretty much, yeah. So every single team that won last season won this season. So, what's it called? Juve defended their title. PSG defended their title. Bayern are going to defend their title, and Barcelona are going to defend their title. And let's assume City will defend their title. So domestically, this season has been a break. Although I'll say the top four race in the Serie A, the Premier League, and so forth has been interesting. But speaking of which, as far as the title goes, this season domestically has been a break. This has been a break of a season. Super chats from Raquel R. Now, how many of you guys have seen Endgame? Before I get into this, how many of you guys have seen Endgame? Let me just see what guys are saying. How many of you guys have watched Avengers Endgame? Because, okay. You see, Raquel R, thank you for the super chat, but I can't, because I respect for people who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for other people. But what I would say though is, again, for guys who haven't seen it, I would just say try and just ignore the super chats from Rahel R, because I think that is a spoiler. But Rahel, since you did put into the super chat, is I have never. That is one of the best moments I've ever been in the cinema with. So when that happened, I was like, whoa. But the crowd around me went in flipping sane. The crowd around me went in flipping sane. So it was because the character is one of my favorite. He is my favorite character in the MCU and everything. So, and I knew nothing. So when that happened, I was like, whoa. But guys, trust me. Just to say, so Wednesday I have my tickets for John Wick 3, man. I have my speakers for John Wick 3. So I will be ready. Damn it, exams, man. Good luck with the exams, bro. Good luck with the exams. So yeah, and that's a big movie for me. So I'm gonna hopefully be doing a John Wick 3 review. And yeah, I'll be dropping my Game of Thrones. I know it's been late, but I'll drop my Game of Thrones reviews tonight. I'll drop my Game of Thrones reviews tonight, building up to the last two episodes. I mean, look, I don't even know what these guys are doing anymore. I don't know what they're on, but yeah, I'll drop the reviews for Game of Thrones. The last two episodes, put in there, so we'll see what I'll do. Let's actually not ask you guys in here. Let's a little bit off topic now. The best TV show of all time. Best TV show of all time. Let's see what you guys say. Best TV show of all time. Bro, you're not missing much. If you're not watching Game of Thrones, you're not missing much. Okay. Wow. Where's Prince? Prison Break. Do I? Wow, Breaking Bad, Double Sopranos, The Flash, Blind Date. Yeah, I've not even started Dexter, man. A lot of people saying Fresh Prince. A lot of people saying Fresh Prince. Sopranos. Ha! Kid of the Kill. Oh, that's old school, man. Kid of the Kill. Oh my gosh. And I think I used to actually know the rap or most of the rap for the intro with Coolio. Frasier, interesting. Okay, look. Do you know my issue with Big Bang Theory is, I don't know, they just make those nerds just like losers, And I'm like, wait, why do they have to make those nerds so much like losers? That's just always my issue with it. But no, for me, I've always said this is that. So I put it, my personal favorite TV show, personally, is Quantum Leap. The best TV show that has ever been made objectively is The Wire. The most addictive TV show is the first 3 seasons of 24. The first 3 seasons of 24 is crack cocaine. I don't care what it says. It is literally crack cocaine. Like, it's a full-on addiction. It's a full-on addiction. That is just full-on 100%, 1,000% crack cocaine are the first 3 seasons of that. But for me, like, I don't think there's any TV show. And I've always said the best performance by an actor in a TV show is James Gandolfini as Soprano, followed closely by Walter White, Bryan Cranston. So, like Bryan Cranston is no. He was like Walter White is an amazing character, but man, look, man, Tony Soprano, man, is that guy is just huge, man. The guy's huge. Super chat from Ash R. Thank you for the super chat, Ash R. Thoughts on the new Joker movie? Oof. Well, funny you should ask that. Now, I've got many elements to this. First of all, I think that a Joker film is stupid because the character of the Joker only works with Batman. That's how they work. The only way that a Joker film can work is with Batman. They only work well in a dichotomy, and they only work well as a two. So that's just how well the whole thingy kind of works, man. But Joaquin Phoenix is, I believe Joaquin Phoenix is the best actor working today. I think he is definitely one of the greatest. I think he's probably the best actor of his generation. So when I saw that trailer, I'm not going into it as a fan of the Joker character. Because for me, like I prefer Batman to the Joker. Like I'm not a fan of the Joker character. I really like the Joker through the Batman's lens, but because it's Joaquin Phoenix, and looking at what they're doing with the trailer and everything, I'm really looking forward to that. And the funny thing is this, it comes out on my birthday. The film comes out on my birthday. But just looking at what Joaquin Phoenix is doing and just looking at where I feel they're going with the trailer, I think it's very interesting. See, my only hope is they just make it real. Forget this whole mixing it with the DCEU, mixing it with the DC universe and so forth. I just want them to make it real. That's just what I want to hope. So before we get back to football talk, how many people here think The Dark Knight is a great film? Forget about Heath Ledger's performance. Heath Ledger's performance was amazing, but how many people here think The Dark Knight is a great film? I just want to see. People here think that Dark Knight is a great film. Interesting. A lot of yeses. Okay, we have one no. Oh, yeses. Oh, Dark Knight is the best action movie I've ever seen. I don't think you've seen John Wick or Hard Boiled or Matrix Reloaded, bro. Interesting set. Good, but I got, and especially this was, and I think we will have this conversation very soon because Nix from Nix Sports, he put out a tweet and he said, "What is the best trilogy?" And on it had the Batman trilogy and the Captain America trilogy, and I said that the Captain America trilogy is better than the Batman trilogy. And people were like, oh, what the hell? Because the Batman trilogy got way more of the votes. And this is what I always say. See, I'm a huge fan of the first Avenger. I still think that's like a really good, strong film. But I would argue that, you know what, you could say Begins is a better film than it, because Begins is a bloody good film. There's still some bits with Begins that aren't too good, but I just think it's strong enough. It's a good, strong introduction to a character. And Begins has one of the best endings to any film of all time. That ending of Batman Begins, I remember that so vividly, was an amazing, amazing ending. The Dark Knight. Batman isn't in the film. It's called The Dark Knight, but the character it's about isn't in the flipping film. It's all about the Joker. How many people ever say that Christian Bale gave a great performance? How many people even talk about the Batman, the character in the film? It's all about the Joker. That's what the whole film's about. So, and my issue with The Dark Knight is it's too much monologue, it's too much talking, too much preaching, and it's quite boring. And it tries really hard to be serious. It comes off as being very pretentious, like, oh my gosh, we're really serious now, man. Let's talk about morality and speeches. And that's what I always say. I can't take a film seriously where a guy dressed up as a bat is talking to me about morality, is giving a speech about morality. For me, that's just cheesy. And I've always said this: Dark Knight Rises is one of the most embarrassing films I've ever had to see. You know, like watching that in the cinema is one of the most embarrassing films I've ever had to see. So for me, I think that look, we will get into it a lot more when I do this whole thing with your boy Nix. But the always thing that said that an actor putting in a great performance does not translate to a great film. Similar to, like, I think that Odin, Anthony Hopkins gave an amazing performance as Odin in Thor, but Thor was an average film. He later gave an amazing performance as Joker in The Dark Knight, but that doesn't make it an amazing film. So you saying how amazing the Joker was cannot disrespect it to be an amazing film. Like, The Dark Knight was just a relation of hype. Because most comic book movies aren't great, they put it up to such a high level. All day, every day, Winter Soldier is a better film than The Dark Knight. It is. Sorry. As a film, as a story, as far as action goes, and as just selling a character and advancing character, it is. Like, Winter Soldier actually progresses the character much better than thinking. How does Batman progress in... First of all, he's not even in the film, so he can't even progress in the film when the main character isn't even in the flipping film. But yeah, don't worry, we'll definitely talk more on this whole thing a bit more, man. But yeah, man, look, just going briefly back to is Griezmann overrated? Let's just have that. Let's just say with that. Is Antoine? Would you say Antoine Griezmann is overrated? Everyone's saying yes. Everyone's saying yes. I don't know. I remember when I actually brought this up, and people got at me for saying that this dude is overrated. And people I think people actually sort of got angry with me on that. But I said, no, this dude is overrated. I don't know, how dare he be overrated? But he is. I really believe that the dude is, because he's never really been the main superstar of a team. Like for Atletico Madrid, he's really been the guy that played off of Diego Costa. Never really been the main star of the team. For France, he was just part of this whole thing with Mbappe and stuff. And really, Mbappe was really the star man. And I think, which is why when Griezmann said, oh no, he doesn't want to go to Barcelona because he wants to have his own team, I think now he's realizing that, I'm not an alpha. I'm not the superstar. I'm not the main guy. I have to sort of play second fiddle to the main star. I cannot be the Mbappe or the Neymar or the Messi or the Cristiano of a team. Like, he doesn't have the skill set or the mentality, because those are two things you have to be the main guy of a team. You have to have the skill set and the mentality and the understanding to be the main guy of your team, and Griezmann just doesn't have that. So, which is why because for me, as I said, like, Griezmann would be a great fit for Barcelona. He'd be a great fit, and I think it would be the best thing to happen for his career. And maybe people would appreciate him, because I don't think Griezmann really is. I don't think even people really view him as world class that much. I think people respect him as a like, I have him as tier 3. Maybe he's tier 2, but I have him as the upper echelon of tier 3. But I think that he would probably get a bit more respect if he actually moved to Barcelona, in my view. Let me see. Let's see what Iguana on the Twitterverse, man. Why are West Brom trending? Actually, what's it called? I'm going to drop the Gladiator thing into. So, that's actually what we asked on our podcast. Thoughts on Gladiator? How many people here? Give me your thoughts on the Gladiator movie, the movie Gladiator, if you've seen it. Thoughts on Gladiator? Javi wasn't really a star. He was important. Javi wasn't a star of the team. He wasn't the superstar of a team. Thoughts on Gladiator, the movie? Overrated. Great for its time. Wow. Wow, interesting. No. This is Sparta is that trash called Snyderborough. It ain't the real one, man. Wow. I mean, it's actually quite interesting to see how some people say either Gladiator is overrated or boring. Because I just assumed that everybody loved Gladiator. Like, I just assumed that it was, because I watched it recently, obviously for our podcast series. I watched it a few days ago, and that film is that film is bloody good, man. That film is flipping good, man. It's amazing. But look, I said, like, really, the films I'm looking forward to the most this year. So you got John Wick 3, the Joker film, and The Irishman. Now, The Irishman, now that movie, Scorsese, Pacino, De Niro, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel. Woo! Crazy. Crazy. And also, it's the first time that Pacino is going to be working with Harvey Keitel. No, sorry. The first time that Pacino is going to be working with Scorsese. The first time ever, man. Yeah, Irishman. I think, don't quote, but I think November. They said fall, but I think I saw a date saying November, and it's going to come out on Netflix, because Netflix are the guys doing it, and I think they've been working on this movie for about 2-3 years, And the reason why it's taking so long is because you're going to be seeing De Niro and Pacino when they were young. It's going to be like, what the hell did happen? So you're going to be seeing a young De Niro and Pacino working. See, so that's so it's like really advanced technology, like the same thing that they used to make Downey Jr. young in Civil War, and the same thing that they used to make Samuel Jackson young in Captain Marvel. Also, so remember, guys, I will be doing Twitch. So if you don't follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. Go onto the website, click on Twitch, and you will be seeing me twitching away. Twitching away without. So yeah, I will be doing some. I'll either be doing Red Dead Redemption 2, or I'll be doing Become a Legend on Pro Evo. But yeah, so if you don't already have, just follow your boy on Twitch. I'll be twitching and chatting to you guys as we're rolling through. And also remember as well, if you want that extra contento, you can join the boy on become a patron where you can get some extra content, man, that I post extra videos, exclusive videos, and everything is all on the website, halfofworldhot.com. So yeah, man, is Cristiano going to win a Champions League with Juventus? Because that's why he moved to Juve. Because if he doesn't win a Champions League with Juventus, it's a failure. I don't give a damn what anyone says. If you cannot win a CL with Juventus, then you're completely and absolutely crap. Super chats, man. Yo, Ashar, can we do a womb episode of The Usual Suspects? And can't wait for the Irishman. Thank you both for the Ashar. Yeah. Oh, no. We are, basically, we're currently debating. Maybe you guys could basically, we're debating right now. Either to do Heat, Mad Max Fury Road, or we can maybe throw in Usual Suspects. I mean, Usual Suspects won't. Thank you even for saying that, because when I was scrambling through, because I was trying to see whether they had Godfather on Amazon Prime, and I was like, well, and then they have Usual Suspects as on Amazon Prime. Like Usual Suspects, man, that is an amazing film, an amazing like the writing on that film, wow, and the directing and the acting, man. It was just amazing, like that scene in the lineup, man. Give the keys, you cocksucker, what the fuck? In English, please. Give the keys, you cocksucker, what the fuck? I would say, give me the keys, you cocksucker. No, it's oh yeah, and also when what's it called? I don't know. I think it's Stephen Baldwin or something. When he goes like, "Give me the keys, you cocksucker!" Hilarious, man. And the funny thing about that scene, I don't know how many people have seen it. The thing about that scene is that when Baldwin does that whole crazy, when they laugh, it's real. It's actually real. So their reaction to him doing that was a real laughter. And the director, Branson, actually kept it. So he actually kept it because he just saw that was like a very real, genuine moment. So that's, like you see, that is actually them actually really laughing because they didn't know that Baldwin was going to act like that for the scene. So that's pretty cool. See, Scarface is another one. See, Scarface is one that I did, because Scarface, it's very, like, for me, like, that is one of Pacino's best performances. That's one, like, it's one of those films where, like, I genuinely was pissed off with the character. And that's because of, like, Oliver Stone's great writing, obviously De Palma's great directing, and just an amazing performance by Al Pacino. I just got really pissed off with the character of Scarface. Like, man, why is the dude like this, man? Piss off. So yeah, man, it's a very striking film. It's a very striking film, and I just think, like, because it's such a effective story, which is why, like, rappers love the film so much, because the story just really speaks to a very kind of basic, kind of primal thing that every kind of human being that's trying to survive really goes through, which is also pretty interesting, man. Oh, guys, don't get me started on Jesse in Breaking Bad, man. Just like one of just the most annoying characters of all time. But I'll say this though, one of the best and scariest characters in anything, Tuco. Tuco in Breaking Bad. Oh my gosh, man. You know, you're speaking for me because I don't know downstairs to speak for myself. You daddy Holmes. Nah, man. Like Tuco scared the living crap out of me, man. Like I was like, this dude is just crazy. Casino, man. Do you know a great scene in Casino? Is when De Niro's character goes into the diner and he sees Sharon Stone's character with James Woods, and then he said, "Get the F out, get the F out, you piece of shit." No, just the way he just insulted, just dissed thingy out was just like, look, man, you know what I always say to guys is this, and I don't know how many people know this. My love of football is exactly the same as my love of film. Like, they're literally neck and neck at the same. So my obsession with football is exactly what my obsession with film. Like, and which is why I cannot talk about football and film with many people, because I go into a crazy detail when I talk about these two things. When I talk about football, I go into crazy, crazy detail. Whenever I talk about films, I go into crazy detail. Like, literally, like, whenever I talk about computer, the main things I go to are 90minute.com, goal.com, soccernet.com, imdb.com, and firstshowing.net. So this is either film sites or football sites, and that's it. So my life consists mostly of football, film, football, football, film, football. Keanu. Oh, one football. Oh yeah, people talk about the one. Yeah, I don't have that whole one football thing, man. Is it any good? Yes. Hey, thank you, man. 1 year anniversary of watching your boy HH, man. Yo. Thank you, bro. That's what. So even if it's called the Half of Football Hot, man. As I said, it's 2019. I couldn't give a crap. Like, anytime I just get into films, I can just randomly start talking about films and start talking about films, even music. Start talking about music. No, but look, music is definitely big for me. And like, from making music to even listening to music. But like, I've been watching football and film since I was 5 or 6. So so trust me. Like, if you want a film debate, bro, I can go in. I can do a film debate with anybody, and I will go into crazy detail, man. Don't you worry about that, man. I'll go into crazy flipping detail, man. Yeah, man. I saw Place Beyond the Pines, man. I saw Place Beyond the Pines. Interesting story. Yeah, Mike Patton from Faith No More. He did the soundtrack. I think that the film could have been executed better. I felt it was pretty good. Yeah, Bradley Cooper as well. He played the cop. I mean, I liked the structure of the story, and I liked just how it was done, because it was told in a very kind of interesting way. But I just thought that maybe it could have been handled a bit better, because I think there were a few bits that were a bit boring. But I did appreciate just how uniquely the story structure was arranged, man. So now, that's wait. Are there actually any people in this world that don't like either football or film? Now that is scary, though. That is scary. Like, people who neither like football or film, man, is that is quite worrying, man. I feel sorry for them, man. Bro, yeah, I already talked about the Maradona documentary. Yeah, comes out June 14th, and I can't wait. I mean, like, that's such an interesting story, because the thing about this is that, look, I remember I watched the Cristiano documentary, and it wasn't really that riveting, really. You know, like, okay, and for instance, if Messi has a documentary now, like, where is the drama? Maradona, you've got the 1986 Cup, you've got Napoli, you've got drug abuse, you've got the mafia, you've got him going overweight, you've got near-death experience, you've got just his different interactions with players, you've got his personality. There is so much content and material there that it just makes it far more engaging and far more interesting to watch. So yeah, man, I mean, it'll be cool. It'll be very, very cool, man. Oh, so Ash R again with the super chats, bro. Thank you very much, Ash R, for your super chats, man. Now, I like it. Your top 3 comedies of all time. So Ash asks top 3 comedies of all time. Thank you for the super chats, bro. I know 2 of them. I'm trying to think of the third one. I know the 2 of them. I'm trying to think of the third one. Let me think. Okay, let me give you the 2. For me, my number 1 comedy of all time is Cable Guy. That has always been, ever since I watched the film, that's still, from when I watch it from now, and we will do definitely a one thing about it, is Cable Guy. There is a scene in the Cable Guy that every time I watch it, I'm literally on the floor laughing. That I don't think I can watch that scene like straight. So every time I watch that scene, I'm laughing so much I actually end up on the floor, and I cannot actually watch what is happening. For me, like, Jim Carrey's performance in that film is insane, like absolutely insane, man. I just want to hang out, no big deal. No. Sorry, that film, that's why I try not to watch the films many times, because I try to just watch it like maybe once every few months. But that I'm never thinking of the scenes, man. That's your sweet spot right there. Some US. Nah, so basically, Cable Guy, number 1. Number 2, Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother, man. Just the amount of jokes that I said, and just because like a lot of the jokes deal with like racism kind of jokes, and Eddie Griffin is definitely one of the best, one of my favorite comedians as well. See, they're just like the story is also very interesting, because the story about trying to be black, you know, there's a black white thing, the man, the system, but just hilarious. Now the third one is a difficult one, because Golden Child. Because I was going to say Beverly Hills Cop, Golden Child. See, everybody goes for Beverly Hills Cop. Like, now, let me grant it, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 is hilarious. Tidbits. Some of you may not know. The Beverly Hills Cop script was originally given to Stallone, and it was supposed to be a more serious film starring Sylvester Stallone, but I think he may have passed it and everything. So he then went back to so that happened. So he then went back to so they then gave it to Eddie Murphy. So Eddie Murphy just changed the whole dynamic of the whole thing. So Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 was good, but guys, Golden Child, some of the scenes in Golden Child, I don't know how many of you guys have watched it, but if you've not watched it, because it's one of his more or less well-known ones, but if you've seen Golden Child, I just think that thing is just super flipping hilarious, man. All right, guys, look, I think my battery is running low, man, so I think we're going to round it off here, but I will see you guys again. Definitely, probably tomorrow. So tomorrow, I will do a live show just before we start the main show. So yeah, it's all from me. Peace out. Stay true. Stay real. And I'm out. Peace.